Hello everyone, Ed, Slow Car Fix. I'm working on my 57 Chev truck, doing some more metal and rust and crap repairs. I wasn't going to show this stuff because I didn't think it was that interesting, but there's some kind of odd anomalies that I'm going to have to fix that I thought were interesting, so maybe I'll show you that. Stick with me and check out what I'm working on. Thanks. Okay, for odd anomalies, this is my 57 truck. Welcome. If you haven't seen any of the other videos on it, check it out. Why do I have so many holes in the firewall? It's crazy. I think I counted like 24 holes in the firewall. And then in the box, there's all these holes in the floor from different seat mounts and stuff. They're everywhere. So I gotta fill in all these holes. It's really, really cold today, so I don't want to fire up my exhaust fan, so I'm not going to do too much grinding. I'm just going to do more welding, I think. So I'm going to just clean off as much as I need to fill in these holes and stuff, because they're just everywhere. I'm not going to put new pans in the truck or anything. The other thing is, I made corner pieces. You can see. They're just kind of sitting in there right now. I made a filler plate for that. I got to do something about where that return line goes, or not return line, vent line for the fuel tank, for the original fuel tank. Another one of these in here. I'll just weld this. I might be able to get away with tacking there. I don't want to wreck the paint on the other side, so I might turn it down and just tack on the, these sides in here, and then give it more of a solid weld around here, and then seam seal all that. So the goal is to try and prevent the crap from coming up through the into the cab. I gotta do, so this pan is removable. Somebody hacked this out very crudely. I have to make some sort of something that covers that. If you look up, you can see all the holes. What's with all the holes? So many holes. So I gotta get rid of these holes. Some of them I'm gonna be able to plug with weld. Some of them it's gonna be impractical. So I'm gonna have to do it with that strip caulking stuff, rubber stuff. I've used that before. It's for automotive use. It's for doing this sort of stuff. Some of them I can probably put some seam sealer on, but the majority of them I'm gonna try and weld up. And then I have a patch over there that I got to put in the floor, and then this patch, this spot here that was chewed by a beaver. I don't know what they cut this with. There's not enough teeth marks or anything to say it was a Sawzall. I don't think it was a zip cut. I don't know if they just went at it with tin snips. It's terrible, whatever they did. It's horrendous. So I'm gonna make a cover that goes on that's removable. Not really sure how that's gonna go. It might be a couple of pieces that I gotta weld together. It depends on how good my metal skills are, which I don't know. They're usually okay, but that's kind of going to be interesting. It doesn't have to look too pretty, but it does have to be sealed up, and then it's going to get covered with carpet and stuff. So my goal is to try and get this straightened up. I've got these Acura seats that I've got to make some sort of, I don't know how the heck I'm going to do that. I've got to, they came with these feet. I've got to somehow adapt that into the floor here, so they bolt in and out. They're actually quite a nice seat though. I'm glad I went through the effort to go in my storage container and get them. So this is what I'm working on right now, and then the end result is, well, this is dusty, but you can see I bedlined step boxes where I made the new step box pieces. I'm going to not bedline. Why do I keep saying bedline? It's rubberized undercoat. I'm going to rubberize undercoat the whole floor. I have some, what's that stuff called? I'm the only one here, so no one's going to tell me. Sound deadening, that's it. Sound deadening. I have some sound deadening stuff, some butyl backed stuff that's going to go on the floor, and then I have, I ordered some 150 mil thick foam stuff that's really supposed to take, you don't have to cover the whole floor in it, but it really supposed to take the heat out and take out the resonant sound. So I'll probably, I think I ordered 2 kits of that, so I'll probably do, back here with it, but definitely the firewall, because I removed all the there was this wool kind of stuff. I removed all that because that stuff really catches fire easily. And when I'm welding, I don't want that to happen. It's not ideal if it does. So I'll line the firewall with that, probably with the butyl-backed tinfoil type stuff first, and then that 150 mil foam stuff on top of that. I will do like a weather strip foam seal that goes all the way around these tunnel covers. And the idea is to not have the tunnel covers on when I put the engine and transmission in, so that way I can line everything up, and because I have this advantage of being able to do this. And then I can bolt in, I've got a floor mount low car shifter that is a mechanical linkage, no cables, and it bolts right to the transmission. So it'll be ideal to not have to cut the floor and guess where that's going to be. I can just bolt it in and then make the piece fit around that, and then it's got a collar. It'll be good. Should be really good. It's very, very cold today. It's minus 36 degrees Celsius. So you'll have to convert that depending on where you are. But I'm trying to stay warm, stay motivated, and look forward to warmer days. Hello again. I'm working on the truck. Just got a little bit of work done to it today. I'll show you where I'm at. I did some welding on the floor, did some welding on the firewall, filled in some things, did some patches, patched the beaver hole. Lots of good stuff. Mocking up the seats right now. One thing I want to talk about briefly, because I did mention a little bit of welding safety in my last video. Another thing to keep in mind is watch for fires. You have to watch for fires. I always also wear a respirator. The fumes from welding on these old cars and stuff, and they'll kill you. I used to go in from the shop and my chest would feel all heavy, and it's because it's full of crap from breathing in all the grinding dust and everything else. So I wear one of these guys underneath my welding shield. I wear a beanie, I wear hearing protection, and I wear safety glasses. And usually, I'm bad for this, usually I wear welding gloves. The thing is, it seems like a lot, but when you start wearing it and you get used to it, it's not a lot. I flip my shield down, and that respirator's there. I mentioned in my last video, if you forget to flip your shield down, if you have safety glasses on, the UV protection of the safety glasses is going to stop you from getting arc flash. I've been welding for like 25 years, and I've never had arc flash, not once. And I've been welding, welded professionally in both trades that I have, millwright and electrician. I welded. Worked around pipe fitter welders, ironworker welders. I've never worked in shops, never got arc flash, and it's because I always wear my safety glasses. I got burned when I was younger, not burned, but poked in the eye when I was younger building a shed. And so since then I've always wore safety glasses, and then it's important to wear safety glasses when you're welding
for the, like I said, the UV protection will. If you stare at it, you're going to get flashed. But if you're walking through a shop and somebody else strikes an arc and you're wearing your safe glasses, you're not going to get arc flash. It's just not going to happen. The other thing that I want to talk about is the flipping the helmet down. Any of the pipeline welders and stuff like that that have been welding a long time and that weld the big pipe and put the pipe in the ground, you'll never see them do that. Guys that are welding structural steel, you'll never see them do that. The reason why is that's a lot of weight to flip down and it's hard on the neck. Take 2 seconds, flip your shield down. It'll save your neck. You don't want to leave the shop or leave your job site or whatever sore or not feeling well or any of those things. Anyways, I only set the truck on fire twice. That's pretty good. There's an acceptable amount of flameage when you're welding. When you're welding something, if you see a little bit of flames from the paint that's around it and everything, you got your respirator on. It's not that big of a deal. You just brush it with your hand and it'll go out. It's not a big deal. You always want to have a fire extinguisher handy. Mine's by the door. You want to have, I know where it is. And I always have a bottle of water handy too. Just to drink and to put out fires. So it's a multi-purpose bottle of water. The one fire that I created today was the insulation on the inside of the firewall, which I expected. So what I was doing, and this is an important thing to do, is when you're welding in a situation where you think maybe you're going to set something on fire, you weld a little bit and then occasionally lift your shield. Lift your shield, have a look, because you'll be welding away and you won't realize your truck is all burning down around you. That's not really the kind of situation you want to be in. So you want to check on that every now and then. You want to just check on the back side of whatever you're welding on to make sure it's not burning through, or not lighting up the old rubberized undercoat, or the, in my case, it was the insulation on the inside of the firewall. It wasn't a big deal. It's same thing. I just took my shield off, stuck my head in there. I had my respirator on and just, you know, put it out with my hand with my oven mitts on, my welding mitts. Wasn't a big deal. But it's going to happen. You just got to watch and be aware of it, and it's just kind of the way it is. So I'll show you what I got going on. Okay, I will show a picture of the firewall and show you all the spots that I welded and filled in. I didn't get too carried away with sanding it and smoothing it and all this stuff. What I did do was I scotch-brighted the whole thing so that my paint would stick to it, and I wiped it down with final white solvent, so to get rid of any oil and grease. Over here there's some, you can see the grinding marks because I didn't sand it smooth or anything, but the battery goes right there. So, and this is kind of like a rat roddy patini kind of truck. I don't really care. So that's good. I will take you to show you my seats. I'm going to have a video out probably soon with how I got these seats out of my shipping container, because that was kind of funny. So they're just sitting in here right now. I was able to make one hole on each side in one of the factory mounting spots. These are from like an Acura or something. I like it because this one, you can see it's cranked up right now. It adjusts up and down. The driver's side adjusts up and down. It's got a pump. I think this is it. Yeah, pump lumbar support. So that comes out. It's a good, comfortable seat. And kind of, they're not mint, but the truck isn't mint. I bought them a while ago with plans to recover them and put them in the 55, but I like them in here. I think this is going to be good. I got to make or get some sort of console to go in between because there's a big void there. I've got the little pan laid on. I cut that all nice and square. I filled in the beaver hole where the beaver looked like a beaver chewed through the floor. I did the patch that's over there. I still have to seam seal all that. The cab corner, inner cab corners are all welded in. Inner cab corner filler plates, I should say, are all welded in. The filler plate for the fuel tank drain is welded in. Some of this stuff, this is what I caught on fire, was this crap. Some of this stuff like this, I'm going to have to, I can't weld that because it's got insulation in between the two layers of metal, and that's just a disaster waiting to happen. So I'm going to have to fill that with some strip caulk that I've got. It's like a rubber stuff. 3M sells it. I used it on the Malibu when I had a hole in the firewall from wiring that I wanted to plug, and I've used it lots of times. So I'm going to use that. I'll end up seam sealing around this because somebody just crudely put that in there. I might use this for some of my wiring. I'm not sure. There's another hole up there that I might use as well. So one of those will get plugged with like a blank grommet. And if it doesn't fit quite right, then it'll get some seam sealer or some of that strip caulk stuff. Yeah, so that's the progress update. Let me know what you think of the seats. I've got a couple of friends that hate them, and I got a couple of friends that like them. I happen to really like them. I think they look good in the truck. Maybe it's because I've got this steering wheel's a little too Boyd for me, a little too Boyd Coddington for me, but it's a comfortable steering wheel. It's got the finger grip things. It's probably going to stay, at least for now. But maybe it's because these kind of match the steering wheel. I don't know. I just think they look kind of right, so I'm going to stick with it. I would have preferred a bench, but I don't really have time to be hunting all over for a bench when I got like dozens of seats, not dozens, but like, I don't know, 4 or 5 sets of seats here kicking around. So I got to come up with some sort of console. If I don't come up with something by the end of this video, and you see this, and you have an idea for me to have a console that's roughly about 9 inches wide and about 19 inches deep, thereabouts 20 inches deep, let me know. Be interesting. I'd like it to have some cup holders and maybe be able to put a cushion across it for the dog to sit on. Dog likes to come in this truck, so she's going to be disappointed that there's no bench seat in here anymore. Okay, shop is a mess. It's a disaster. This carpet was cut off to accept these seats, so I'm probably gonna have to get a new carpet, which is unfortunate because I think the guy replaced that just before I got it, but that's also like, I don't know, 5 years ago now. So yeah, a lot of work I've done in 5 years to change this whole truck. This side looks the same, really. It's so I'm going to make some sort of removable cover that attaches to that, so that way when I put the engine and transmission in, I can have that wide open, and it's not really a big deal for clearance. And then I can put some weather stripping around it after and bolt it back down. I'll use those nut certs and have it so it's removable like a doghouse on a van, and then it'll be good. It'll give me shifter access and all that stuff. Not that I plan on re-and-reing this engine a million times, but I got the hole, I might as well do it. I think I mentioned earlier that I've got some sound editing stuff coming. That should be here tomorrow. I'm not sure. Once I mount these, once I get some seat mounts made and make that piece, really the metal stuff is all kind of done. Then I can clean up, because this is a disaster here. I can clean up all this, look at that, grinding dust and welding dust, and straighten up the shop and get on to getting that engine in. Okay, I am one step closer to being able to clean up this mess from all the welding and grinding and dust and get my air gun out and blow all the crap out of here. I'm looking forward to that, and then getting on to dressing this engine and making it something that can go in the truck. My seat brackets are done. So I know you wouldn't think the seats are that important, but everything lines up, and I'll show you why I started with this. So first of all, one way to consider this is that it's like building a house. You want to have a good foundation and work your way up from there. So I've got the truck all straightened out. I have one more piece to make for the tunnel before I can pack up this mess. But it was important to get the seats in. It all connects. I'll show you. Okay, so obviously the seats aren't staying in, but it's important to get the seat in because the seat determines where the pedal is going to be. So this is officially the first LS Swap part that's been installed in this truck. And it's only kind of half installed, it's just sort of sitting there, is the drive-by-wire pedal. Now, this is a chain of events, and you have to think things through. Seat has to go in. For the pedal to go in, pedal has to go in for me to make that tunnel cover, so I know that the pedal's not running into the tunnel cover. It also has to go in before I can do any sound deadening, so that way, or at least I need the location, so that way I know where things are going. When I do my sound deadening, I can cut out around where the pedal's going to go, and it's not going to be a problem. These drive-by-wire pedals, to me, that's one of the best parts of the LS Swap. A lot of people swear by the cable setup because they think it's easier. It's like setting up a carburetor, but you're changing so much that going towards modernized stuff. Why would you not go with a drive-by-wire pedal? Then there's no Mickey Mouse jankiness of linkages and cables and crap. That all just gives room for every junction and every point where there's a cable. To me, gives room for some sort of slop and error and misadjustment. And what's the old saying is if you make something adjustable, people will adjust it wrong. So I think it's something like that. Give people something adjustable, and they will surely adjust it wrong. Something like that. Anyways, I like this. You just find its home, and bolt it in, and it just works. You plug it in, and away you go. So this is, it's just got one bolt in it, so it's kind of moving a little bit, but you can see it's going to be okay. That's wide open throttle, and I still can get my thumb in behind it, so that's cool. Lots of room for carpet and under padding and all that crap. And then I had to, like I said, I have to make sure where everything's going to go before I can even attempt or think about making that tunnel cover. So this is what I'm replacing. This janky, sloppy, like this is a nice aftermarket piece, I guess, but you know, you got a cable here. There's a whole bunch of room to slot things and adjust things, and then you have to get the cable length right, and you got to make sure there's no obstructions. To me, it's just a lot easier to just wire it in and plug it in, and away you go. I did get an email that my Amazon order of my sound deadening stuff is in. So once I go back to the house, I can probably see that that's in. Now that I have the pedal figured out, I'm gonna bolt it. You can see I used a nutsert. There it is there. I've got to put one more in, and then that's its location. And then once I do that, I can take the pedal back out because I got to clean it up and paint it before I put it in anyways. But then I can get on this tunnel little bracket thing. I'll make a cover, and it's going to be removable. I'm going to do the same thing probably with nutserts or something like that. So it's removable, and that should allow me to do the majority of the floor. I don't really want to make that piece after the sound deadening is in, but it might come to that. I'm not sure yet. Firewall looks okay now that everything's dried. So far I'm happy. I'm going to be into the LS Swap part of it very soon, which is good. I have a pile of parts. walk with me to the less messy side. This is my fuel tank, and that's the sender. This is, it's got, I don't know, all the fuel pressure regulator, the fuel pump, the in-tank fuel pump, the sock, the hoses, all that stuff. This is my low car shifter. This is kind of cool. This is something I ordered for the Bug rain sticks for my wipers. Low clouds for my fog lights. I think that's kind of neat. So, man, it's a mess in here. I'm gonna try and get this metal wrapped up, and then I can clean all this crap and carry on with actual mechanical work, which is mostly assembling, which I'm looking forward to. Hey, so I'm working on my truck, and I think I'm ready to seam seal and rubberize the floor, at least the bulk of it. And yeah, I think I'm ready. That's probably it then for this video after that. So then I'll be into sound deadening for the cab, but I think really I need to get focused on the engine stuff. Okay, as you can see, the cab is been cleaned-ish. I've got everything out. My seat brackets are all in. I've roughly shaped a tunnel cover. Not going to install that yet until I know the transmission fits, and then I'll make this all work. But that's not stopping me from sealing up the rest of this crap, doing some seam seal in the corners and stuff, and spraying it all with rubberized undercoat, much like these nice step boxes. And then I can then do the what's it called? What am I looking for? Sound deadening on the Firewall. I'll have to remove the gas pedal out again, and I have to clean that up anyways and paint it and such. It does look like it's far over to the right, but when I sat in here on the seat, it sort of felt like it was in the right spot. And apart from the cable being in the way there, it's hitting wide open throttle, no problem. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. So I just need to seam seal what I want to seam seal and spray what I want to spray. And then this will all be one color-ish, and it'll all be fine. It'll be good. Then I can strike that off my list and carry on with getting that engine ready over there. I did clean up some of the shop, so I got rid of some of the dust. I blew out everything with the compressor, which makes a big giant mess. And I think I'm feeling pretty good about the progress. So I'm going to do that now. I'll seam seal that, and I'll show you guys what I'm done, and that'll be what I've done, and then that'll be probably the end of the video. Okay, so I've seam sealed and sprayed on some bed liner. Not bed liner. Why do I keep calling it bed liner? It's not bed liner. It is rubberized undercoat. I did the back wall too, because I don't know, looks better than what was there. So I think it looks good. It all looks uniform. I obviously didn't do that piece in the middle because I still have to do stuff with it. There's some like beige color up there. I guess maybe the cab was beige. I don't know. Who knows? So I think that's pretty good. I think I'm happy with the result here. I can rubberize. No. What do I want to do next? Sound deaden. There's no one else here to ask, so I don't know why I keep asking myself. I need to sound deaden this, and then I can start looking at doing whatever I need to do up here and then putting the interior in. But I think for now, the cab is where it is. It's easier to work on stuff without the interior in it. I may do the sound deadening, I may not, but I really need to get started on the engine. Okay, so that's where I'm going to leave it. Thanks very much for watching. Thanks for joining me on this next step in my truck progress. And it's only going to get better. There's going to be more and more things I'm going to do to improve this truck that I like so much. It should be an interesting go when I get into this LS swap stuff because some of it is familiar, so I should be able to go through it pretty quick because it's the same as the Malibu, but some of it is quite a bit different. The fuel system is going to be completely different. Same idea, but kind
kind of a one-off deal because it's in the truck. So I look forward to posting more videos for you. Please check out my other videos and consider subscribing. Hit that notification bell. It doesn't cost anything, but it does support the channel and lets you know when my new videos are posted. So thanks very much.